Okay, these are some of the notes. You might want to go ahead and pause it so that you can write them down, because I'm going to go through it a little quick, and then you'll get a review of it again tomorrow or day after tomorrow, whenever you have the next day. Least common denominators. We're finding an LCD. Factor the bottoms first. If there's a number you might need to, I'm not saying you have to, because sometimes you can just get it off the top of your head. That intuition thing again. But if there's a number you might need to do the whole prime factorization. With the letters, I'll teach you a shortcut probably tomorrow, not today. But it basically comes down to, for right now, making sure you write every one of them out. That'll be the easiest way for us for today. We're not doing anything with the tops, because all we're talking about today are the least common denominators. You need to take the largest number of each factor. So when I go to factor this, I'm going to do it in blue so you can see it's a different color. The C is still there, but I'm only worried about the bottom, like I said. So that's 3 times 2 times 2 A's and 1 B. And then when I go to factor this, that's 2 times 2 times 2 times 1 A and 3 B's. Then I'm supposed to take the largest number of each factor. So when I look over here, my first factor is a 3. And I look over here and I don't have any 3s. So my largest number is 1. So that means my LCD has to have a 3 in it. Over here I have 1, 2. Over here I have 3 2s. Largest number of that is 2. Is 3. So I'm going to have 3 of them. Over here I have 2 A's. Over here I just have 1 A. Largest number is 2, so I need both A's. Over here I have 1 B. Here I have 3 B's. Largest is going to be 3 B's. So this is my LCD. Then I need to take all that and multiply them all together to get that 3 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 24. A squared, B cubed. Okay, fine, I'm going to tell you the shortcut now for the letters. You ready? If you take the largest exponent of each letter, that's what it's going to be. So you don't really have to write your letters all out. Just take the largest exponent of each. And like I said, with the numbers, you can generally look at them and tell between the 6 and the 8. An LCD, even though it says least, is always talking about a greater number, because they do the opposite than that, just like a greatest common factor is talking about a smaller number. So the LCD has to be a bigger number than 6 and 8 that they both go into, which is 24. That's how we get that that is our LCD for this. So here's one for you to try. Pause. Okay. So I hope when you broke this one down, you said that that is 3 times n times n. And this is 3 times 5 times m times m times n. And this is 2 times 2 times m times n. So your LCD is going to be 1, 3, because that's the most that we have. And then 1, 5, because that's the most that we have. And 2 2s. Then for the m's, I've got 2 here. And then I got 2 n's here, 1 n there, and 1 n there. 2 is my bigger number, so I need to have 2. Which makes my LCD 60. M squared, n squared. So 60 is the smallest number that all 3 of those go into. and then the largest exponents on my letters. Now, the whole point of finding this whole LCD thing comes in the next section. But in order to try to prep you for the next section, we need to be able to write equivalent expressions. So you have to ask yourself what's missing from the bottom to make it your LCD, and then that's what you need to multiply the top by and the bottom by in order to get the equivalent fraction. So, with purple back over here, our fraction up here was C over 6a squared b. Now we want our bottom to become this LCD, 24a squared b cubed. So we have to look at this and at that and say, what is this missing to get to there? So to get from 6 to 24, you had to multiply by 4. To get from a squared to a squared, you don't have to do anything. To get from b to b cubed, you better multiply by b squared, because that's what we need to get to the b cubed. So that's what we have to multiply our top by. We've already multiplied the bottom by it, but we have to multiply the top by it. So that's going to give me 4b squared c on top. And that is my equivalent fraction. Try it with the next one. D over 8ab cubed has to equal the LCD on the bottom So I hope you said we're going to have to multiply by 3. And I hope you said we're going to have to multiply by A and get 3AD. Now, I put them in that order and in that order because that's alphabetical order. It doesn't have to be in alphabetical order. It just looks better that way. So now we've done it with those. Let's go back and do it with these 3. M over 3n squared. And we need the bottom to be 60 m squared n squared, because that's what our LCD was. N plus 1, put parentheses around it, over 15 m squared n has to have a 60 m squared n squared. And then the other one was 3 over 4 mn has to become a 60 m squared n squared. Pause it. Try it. See what happens. Okay? So I hope you said 3 times 20 is what gives you 60. And then I have an n squared, but I don't have an m squared, which will make this new top 20 m cubed. Now they asked for the equivalent fraction, so it's not just the top, it's the whole thing. Here, to get from 15 to 60, you're going to have to multiply it times 4. The m squareds are there, but I'm missing an n. So that's going to be 4n times n plus 1. Your question should be, do I need to multiply those out? Well, technically this is an equivalent fraction. But because I know what's coming up, yes, you need to multiply those out. We multiply them out here, you should multiply them out here. See, multiply those together, just saying. So that's going to be 4n squared plus 4n over the 60 m squared n squared. And then here, to get from 4 to 60, that's times 15. M to m squared is times m. N to n squared is times n. 3 times 15 is 45. Mn. Gosh, I so want to go ahead and just teach you the next step and be done with it. Let's do a couple of hard ones. Next step tomorrow. Did the simple ones. Let's do the hard ones. So you can see why we spent all that time going over all the stuff we've gone over. I'm looking in your book. Yeah. At problem number 32. X plus 1 over x squared plus 3x minus 4. And then x over 3x squared plus 12x. And then while we're at it, number 34. Y plus 1 over 5y plus 15. Four over y squared plus 5y plus 6. 2y over y plus 2. Just those two. First, we need to find the LCD, and then we need to write equivalent fractions. So, once again, we're just talking about the bottoms for right now. We're supposed to factor each of the bottoms, and if they have a whole number, you might need to find the prime factorization of it. So when I go to factor this, no GCF, that's a 4 and a 1 and a plus 4 and a minus 1. Okay? When I go to factor this, I'll take a 3 out, take a 3x out. That leaves me with x plus 4. So remember, we have to talk about every single factor that's in there when we're finding our LCD. So this one has 1x plus 4. That one has 1x plus 4. That means I'm going to need 1x plus 4. If I'd had more than 1, then we have to talk about x plus 4 squared. This says 1x minus 1. That one may not have 1, but that doesn't matter. As long as we have 1, we have to take the largest of what we have. That's the largest. This has a 3, so I have to include a 3. And this has an x, so I have to include an x. Which makes my LCD now 3x times x plus 4 times x minus 1. This one I would not multiply out. Just the tops. When we get to the tops are going to need to be multiplied out. The bottom, leave it in its factored form. There's no point to multiplying it. Okay, so we found the LCD. Now we've got to go back and find the equivalent fractions. LCD, EF, just saying. I didn't plan that, it just kind of happened. Okay, so 5x plus 1 over, instead of me writing it this way, I'm going to write it that way. So that one's gone now, just like that one's gone. So I'm going to write it this way. X plus 4, x minus 1. That helps me see things better. Equals, and we want the bottom to become this. So what do I need to multiply my top by? Well, we got that already. I need my 3x. And go ahead and multiply it out. So 3x times 5x is 15x squared. And then 3x times 1, 3x. That's one equivalent fraction. And then for the other one, x over 3x times x plus 4. And it has to become our LCD. It already has the 3x, so that's good. I don't have to worry about that. It's got an x plus 4, so the only thing missing is my x minus 1. So I need to multiply this out and put it over here. X times x is x squared. X times negative 1, because you still got to distribute, is negative x. Okay. Pause it and try 34. Let's see how you do. All right. Factoring this one, y plus 3. Factoring this one, plus 3 plus 2, that's already factored. Put parentheses around it so it looks right. That's all. So to find my LCD, I have a 5, so it's going to have to be down here. I have 1 y plus 3 here, 1 there. Even though there's not 1 there, I had 1 somewhere, so I've got to put it in there. And then done with that one, but I still have the y plus 2. It's got to find its way in here too because I had at least 1, which makes that my LCD. Don't have to simplify it because it's already simplified. So now I just need to write equivalent fractions. Got 3 of them I got to do. So y plus 1 over 5 times y plus 3 becomes and then 4 over y plus 3, y plus 2 has to become and then 2y over y plus 2 has to become up here. What I'm missing is the y plus 2. Going to have to distribute that out. Y times y is y squared. 2y plus 1y is 3y. And then 1 times 2 is 2. Here, I've got that, and I've got that. I'm just missing the 5. 4 times 5 is 20. That one was nice. Here, got the y plus 2, but I'm missing the 5 and the y plus 3. So that'll be 10y times y is 10y squared. And then 10y times 3 is 30y. Which means we need to talk about homework and classwork. I'm looking at page 331. You're going to have to read carefully to see whether they're wanting you to find just the LCD or whether they want you to find the equivalent fractions too. Let's have you do all the odd. No, I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that to you. Let's see, number 15, I think I did. So 21 25 and 31. And then for homework, let's have you do 23, 29, and 33. It's not like you won't do more of it in a couple of days anyway. So classwork and homework, think of it this way. It's an easy day, simple, get it out of the way, go ahead and finish it up, move on with life. Okay? Okay. I will talk to you later.